Hi guys and welcome back. And today I'm going to be just doing a quick video of follow up on the actual immigration problem out in Texas. I did a little research and they're actually getting bombarded with actual South American immigrants, not necessarily from Mexico either. So you got to figure Guatemala, you have to figure El Salvador, you have to figure all these Central American actual countries, and a lot of females are actually coming through. That's not traditionally. Traditionally, the males would leave the actual ranch or the home, the town, and come over here to actually work, get some money in their pocket, send it back to their families, and either travel back when it's not in season, wherever farming he does, or bring the family to this side. And that's the reality of it. And right as of right now, uh, from the actual searching I did, this is my opinion, that Texas has lost control of the actual border, the people mover on the south side. We're not talking about contraband here. We're not talking about dope. We're not talking about any of that. But what I'm speaking on is actual people moving. And I'm going to tell you from when I was down there, people moving tend to be a family affair with connections with protection from certain organizations. And whoever actually is in control of the town, they tend to just stand back and let the actual of what is called a pollero do its thing. They don't really like to actually get into the people moving business because it's a big gamble. It's a big gamble. Not everybody gets through the first time. Not everybody actually is willing to actually do the actual moving of people, and that's where you get into problems. That's where the price actually goes up, and unfortunately, it actually goes to the actual family and family members of the actual possible immigrant, right? Okay, so this is what my personal scenario would be heading towards, give or take a few steps. But okay, traditionally, let's say, for example, an organization runs 3 miles of actual border, and in 3 miles, you have to pay a toll. You actually have to be with some type of agreement with this set organization. And a lot of routes are actually very, very profitable, almost like music royalties, right? So you have this scenario, and if somebody tries to move any kind of dope through them 3 miles, well, guess what? They either have to pay a toll, hand over the dope, or meet your maker. But there is so much foot traffic of people moving going through certain areas in Texas, it's not manageable. And they are not being led by a guide. They're basically following groups. They're basically following almost like a caravan coming into the actual country, but without a vehicle. At any time, as of right now in Texas, you can find a group of females, maybe 10 or 15, 20, by themselves trying to get north just by actual trails. No kind of guidance, no kind of actual escorts. Just all of them, between 15 and 20 of them, and they all have destinations on the East Coast. So that's why they're actually being pushed to that area for the fact that it's closer coming in from South America, and they have no actual ties to California or Arizona. So therefore, they're being moved through Texas. It's closer to the train tracks, so they're coming through that middle part, or actually eastern part of Mexico. But don't forget, these organizations, say for example, we're still in that 3 mile stretch. What are they going to do to 15 females? They can't tax them. They have no money. They can get rid of them, but that's going to raise some suspicion. That can get a lot of heat that you don't need from your actual profitable 3 miles. So basically, they're just following the actual mini groups that are going down through there. So therefore, they are not actually collecting any kind of revenue on these actual groups. And you always hear about these kids coming through alone. These kids are coming in through no escorts, none of that. Let me tell you something. They are going through the organizations that traditionally move people. There would be no kids, for the reason being they're another body to actually charge for. If they would be charging people for having these kids string along through their actual routes, there wouldn't be one kid in any group. If the actual organizations of moving people actually started charging for children to cross through their actual border, to their actual little royalties, they there would not be one child stringing along. I'm not saying that they wouldn't cross kids, but they also would charge. And I'm thinking, because between these past 4 to 5 months, there have been a few actual safe houses being actually watched, being actually shut down by these organizations until they can provide payment for their family members. So they're actually being jailed in a private home in the neighborhood because one of the guys actually escaped in his underwear to try to get help. Actually, so that means that they're trying to just actually recover as much money as they can and gather these migrants that have nothing to do with their actual any kind of organization. Just gather them, house them, hold them for ransom, basically. But yet, a lot of them are actually coming through without getting actually taxed, and that's where the problem is. I believe that's where the problem is. And like I said, if they were charging for kids, there wouldn't be any stragglers following the groups, right? There wouldn't be any people willing to actually bring in a strange kid with them. It doesn't work that way, Money talks first. And that's just my opinion on the actual situation down there. And they're coming in heavy numbers, heavy numbers. All right, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe.